Hey, what's up, everyone? Look, um, just a tough time, tough because you lose Young Noble, Outlaw. You always love pieces of the hip hop game, where it's a true underdog story, where it's a real recognizing real, where it's a guy who just rose the ranks doing it his own way. And you also want to look at it like he's a guy that, received the co-signing of obviously a young Tupac Shakur at age 25 still, and Noble being the last member of the Outlaws group to, make the stable, make the faction. And it's unfortunate, that he passes today, or passed, July 4th today. So at the time, at the hands of his own demise, and it's tough to endure, to face. But I wanted to use this time, this moment, this platform to say RIP to a guy who has pretty much helped mold my youth, just in terms of his contributions to the music that he did, with Tupac, as part of the Outlaws. His solo music has had an impact on me. His verses, lyrics with the Outlaws in every fashion and form, whether it was just him and Edie, or him and Castro and Edie, or whether it was the whole collective clique of the Outlaws at one time. So many songs from his solo catalog stick with me, even though, you never really, can't really put Young Noble as a solo act as being like super successful. One thing you can say is this: he gave it his all, and he had his core group of fans, real people that recognize real. They know what's up. I embrace the catalog, and everything that we deem to be super successful. It's not always about that. Sometimes it's about, did the music affect you personally when you heard it? Because you got a lot of people who are super successful and they really ain't about nothing. So I'm proud of him for stepping forward, keeping Pac's legacy alive, giving us a lot of inspirational songs, giving us the truth. Son of God was a wonderful album. Was it Noble Justice? His debut in 2002. It had its moments. He had his classic verses on Machiavelli. My favorite song. My favorite song by Young Noble was "Feel About You." Check that out. Type it in YouTube. I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section to the video. It's my favorite song that he made. He will be missed. I wish that he would have been able to make it through this. We all know that life has storms, tons of them, hurricanes, blizzards, and I wish he would have made it through. He made it through his heart attack in 2021. He survived that, and he had another chance, a new lease on life. But ultimately, I think the biggest thing is, let's just be thankful for everything he gave us, for everything the Outlaws gave us. And I just want to say a prayer to his family. If he got any sons or daughters, I want to say a prayer for them and send up well wishes to them, and send a shout out to other Outlaws that still exist, like Edie. Shout out to Edie. Shout out to Castro, and shout out to Storm. It's difficult. Again, his music molded me and it stuck with me. Outlaws, Life After Pac, 2005, another great album. Powerful. It definitely had its moments. Powerful was another album by Noble. Again, he managed to paint the pictures of himself poignantly and brilliantly that he wanted to paint of himself, as well as his outlaw crew. And he always kept Pac's name alive. And it always fit the scheme of the rhymes. It wasn't just name dropping like the Game. No disrespect, Game, but it wasn't just name dropping. It was woven into the fabrics of who he was, and he will be missed. In a time like hip hop is today, we really need those lyricists. We really need those pioneers You know, we really need those hip hop revolutionaries. You know, we really need it. And it's just sad to see him go before his time. Young Noble leaving, it reminds me of Prodigy. It reminds me of DMX, just leaving, but he's still very young. And much like people in our own life, family, friends, we gotta appreciate these artists while they're here. Because the thing about it is, when they're gone, you never know if they'll have another album. We never know, and if they do, it's probably not gonna live up to what they could produce and make for us while they were here. So, yeah, R.I.P. to Rufus Young Noble Cooper. Again, thank you for everything you did. Your work in the game, the content, and I think I'll be playing your music for about a whole week, maybe 2 weeks. I might even put an Outlaws playlist together with all y'all. Some great songs, great careers. Might be playing it longer than 2 weeks, but definitely gonna be playing it 2 weeks and then playing it periodically here nor there. See, everybody was just like Pac, and I get it. Pac was a big name, but he definitely had some young dudes with him that could rap. Idi Amin, Young Noble, always stuck out to me. I heard every Outlaws album, and I'm glad I did. R.I.P. Young Noble. Hey, y'all, hit that like button for the video. Drop your comments below if you familiar with Young Noble. Let me know the music that you like by him. Brother at the movies. We out.